Hello, Sophie.
Yeah, I don't have a name of
You don't have a name?
reasons. No,
You have no name.
No, I don't have a name. I'm a nameless being.
So how do I address to you?
Oh, I'll be there. I promise you. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Please take a seat. I think it's.
Thank you.
There's coffee for you. And they're very beautiful and very bad chairs.
Very bad what?
Chairs. Very expensive.
Hello.
And very.
So, I wanted to see you because yesterday, by coincidence, I spoke about a project I had that was to organize my funerals.
Yes.
And I was told that a man with no name had the same idea here in Copenhagen. And it doesn't bother me because ideas are around.
Well, I think all funerals are different. And
all funerals are different.
Happen to everyone.
And also, it reminded me that when I became an artist for the first time, it was in '79. I started to follow people in the street because I didn't know what to do with my life. And I thought that by following people I didn't know, they would give a rhythm, an energy, a destination, because I didn't have my own desire or destinations. And so I started to follow people to see where they were going, and I started to write about them, shadowing them, being behind them. And as soon as I started to talk about this to art world people, they said that it had been done already. And that Vito Acconci, Italo-American artist, had been following people, and that I don't know if it was a way for them to tell me to stop because it was done, but my first real gesture as an artist, because when I started to follow people, it was not for art, it was because I was lost.
Yes.
It was maybe unconsciously for art, but not, I didn't know what I was doing with this. And so my first real professional gesture was to go to New York to meet Vito Acconci.
Yes.
And I thought, so I told him what I was doing, and he gave me his benediction. He said that it had no relation with what he was doing, that in a way he was following people into geographic space, and there was no feeling involved. Me, it was about being behind someone and have emotion going in only one direction without reciprocity. And so he told that there was no relation at all between the two works, that I could.
Yeah. But I'll be even more.
So that's why maybe I come to see you, saying I asking your benediction for my funerals.
But you can even do my funeral also, if mine will be done in September.
Yes.
No, in October after the deathbed.
So can you tell me what you're going to do? Because maybe it's also a way for me, or to see that I don't do the same, or
but you
want to imitate,
exactly the
or
same
maybe to do exactly the same. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd like to understand.
I prefer my funeral not to be unique.
So why do you organize your funeral first?
In before 2001, I was called Claus Beck-Nielsen, and people even addressed me.
Claus.
Yeah, Beck-Nielsen, that was my surname. And then in 2001 he was declared dead. By whom I don't really know yet, but and then in 2002 we made a company called Das Beckwerk. And if we go to our website, it's written that Claus Beck-Nielsen passed away and was declared dead to free a nameless and utopian being. a being beyond identities and names.
Reborn?
No, not a rebirth. It would just, when the identity went away, then the body would be a nameless and the first nameless being, or a kind of to see if it would be possible to live a human life also beyond national identities and personal identities.
What's
so
written?
It's a very utopian thing, but actually I'm not sure that it's that he died because of that.
Do you travel?
Yes, I travel
You
a lot.
Still have a passport?
Yes, but
What does it say?
it says, for some years I've tried to be allowed to have no identity number and no name also in my passport. And then after 5 years I had to give up, and then I just took the name that was on the door of my apartment when I moved in.
Can you change name on your passport?
Yes. And then, so now I have, in my passport I have a picture of Andy Warhol, and then I have this name that was on my door.
But this is allowed? This is like, you can...
It is possible to change your name.
Really?
Yes.
That's okay.
In
That's Danish?
No, I think you can also do that in French, can't you?
No, you can change your name if you are named Hitler.
Yeah.
And that it makes you... that it makes trouble in your life, but you cannot change your name if your name is not...
It's not Hitler.
It's not, I mean, it's not only Hitler, I guess, but I gave an example.
But I
if
made up a story. I made up a very emotional story.
If you are a psychanalyst called Dr. Hitler, I'm sure you are allowed to change your name, but... So you change your name to a name that was on the door.
Yeah, and it has been there since 1929. So it's and it has nothing to do with me, and people only use that when I'm in hospital or I'm at the border.
Okay.
Then they use that name, and it's very strange to me. But otherwise, I'm non-addressable. So, but the problem is that we thought that now I could be nameless, but this.
So on your grave, there won't be a name.
It is Claus Beck-Nielsen who will be buried, because we found out that even though he was declared dead, he keeps haunting.
So you want
my work.
You want to bury him?
Yes, because I found out that this has been a problem that throughout history happened a lot of times, also among the old Greeks, when a person was died.
Why did you want to die?
I don't really know. I don't know the death. I don't know where, why, when, or how it exactly happened. I think it's just the essence of death. It just happens, and suddenly it has happened, and there's no way back. And then you, of course, you.
What has
you find
changed
out.
in your life since this man is dead? I mean, not in your dreams, in your life.
Yeah, a lot of things that changed. First of all, I have a very. I have a lot of trouble because of this. That if people want to talk to me, we stay very. Normally you say, "Oh, hello, my name is Sophie Calle, and my name is Hitler," and then you start talking about what you want to talk. But in my case, we always stay very, very long time at the problem of who are we. So that means that this is a problem I have, and I have a problem with keeping people from addressing me or calling me, and I have all problems with the authorities and all these things.
You are a writer, yes?
I also write, but I do a lot of different things.
But you receive
so I'm just
author's right?
No, it's the company that I'm. We made this company, Das Beck-Werk, and I'm only what you call them. I'm only
a member.
I just work for it.
Okay.
So so I don't get the author's right. Das Beck-Werk gets them. So I don't need any. I'm free of that.
Is it more light or is it more heavy to be dead?
It is heavy because there's a lot of work, and there is this feeling of being alien to the normal life and to people. and this that.
But is it
that
something?
A lot of people
It's a
think I'm a little
construction,
bit
or
of a
you really
ghost.
feel like that, or it's just kind of.
No, it's something happened, and I have to be honest about what changed. So I have to accept all the things and also reflect on. But it's just the way
But
it is.
why
so
did
I
you
don't,
decide this? Do
I-
you know when you had that idea the first time?
Yeah. No, I'm not completely sure. But in 2002, there was a book published, and in this, it was a kind of novel, and in the back, instead of in books there always a very beautiful picture of the author. The author always looks very handsome.
Yeah.
And then it's written about all the successful things this has happened. This wonderful person has done. But then
Well,
on
that's
this
your
book,
choice.
I instead I put a poster, because when I was a kid there was pop posters in some. You could unfold them, and in the end there is a very, very, very sad picture. I think it looks like a Muslim, someone from a concentration camp. He looks very sad. He looks ill, and his biography is full of all the most, not only the catastrophes in his life, but also the very embarrassing things in his life. And then it's written Claus Beck-Nielsen, 1963 to 2001. And then he was dead. And it was a fantastic thing, but it was also very sad. But now he will be buried, because
Okay, so you miss the funeral.
I will be there too.
So this is what I wanted to ask.
Yeah,
Where
we
will
will
you
make
be
an effigy.
will you be watching it, or will you be in the box?
When the Romans, when we found out that when a senator or even a general would go to war, and they didn't know if he'd come back, then they would make a wax effigy of him, and then sometimes when he didn't come back, they had to bury his body, because otherwise he will haunt the city. So then they put him on a deathbed for 7 days, and then the other senators could come and say goodbye to him, family.
To the effigy.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then there would be a doctor all the days, 7 days, and he will tell every day, now it's going worse. And then after 7 days, they would tell
So
that he's dead.
simulating sickness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this we will have. There will be in
But
the
where
middle of
will you be?
Copenhagen. I will be. I'm employed in Das Beck-Werk, so I will be around and with him and without him. I'll come and go, and I'll take care that everything will be done well, and that there will be good doctors, very good doctors, good nurses,
So you
and there will
won't
be a priest who will
you
bury
won't be
him.
watching your funeral. You would
And
be.
I will follow with the women of his life. Will all those who we have who will participate. There are some who does not. They will follow in with me, and whoever who wants to. And of course you'll be invited, especially if I'll be invited to your funeral. Then we can visit each other's funerals. But then there will be a priest
my
who will
idea
bury.
of my funeral is more how would I say, ordinary in a way. For me it's different. I don't want to die. I just wish.
I don't want that either.
I'd wish to see. Her died 4 years ago, and I was there all the time and I made sure that she was the best possible before she died. So I was trying to organize things for her and parties in her by her bed, and I really try everything I could to make the last months as happy and alcoholic and funny and so I didn't have many guilt when she died, because guilt is part of the problem, I guess. And I really did, I just slept by the bed on the floor. I never moved. I just had I found a way to be guilty by really searching, which that I didn't tell her how incredible would be her funeral. I didn't know really what. We prepared her funeral. together with her.
Yes.
She decided who should talk.
Yeah.
She decided what she wanted. She decided what we would eat at the funerals. She wrote. She used to write poems a lot for fun. She wrote the last poems that we read.
Okay.
To bury herself. She chose the music. She chose everything. But I didn't tell her, your funeral are going to be exceptional. And I think she would have liked to know that. She wanted to be always the center of attention. She wanted to be on the table, on stage. And I didn't, and the funeral she had were exceptional.
It was?
It was totally.
Did you do something?
They were very, very, very funny speeches.
Okay.
Hilarious speeches about, we invented her life. We simulated she was married she was a president of France and she divorced, and we invented the speech. Doing the person that made the speech invented life.
And you had the idea before she died, so you
I
knew
had
that
the
it would
idea
be...
of the people, but I didn't know what they would say.
Okay.
And I didn't know that so many people from all over would come to the funeral. I didn't know the singer that sang Mozart would be so exceptional. I didn't know the speech would be that funny. I didn't know the party would last all night until morning, like a huge she was a party woman. I didn't know it would be that good. And I really was sad that I could not tell her before, your funeral are going to be exceptional.
Yeah.
And I would like to see for my funeral, I won't see this, it's just a little idea. But I would like to see if people cry, if who is going to talk, what. So all this I cannot organize, because I cannot organize sadness, because if I die tomorrow or if I died when I'm 100 years old, the speech is different.
And you cannot make it up on before.
Well, I can organize different scenarios. Yeah. Like if I die tomorrow, in 5 years, in 10 years, but still it's... But even if I know it's not possible, I would like to have my word to say. And like my mother had with me. She said, I want this, I want that dress, I want that. So I don't know, if I die tomorrow, so far nobody knows what I want to wear, what music I want. If I die when I'm much older and maybe alone, nobody will know either. So I just...
But will you make a rehearsal before?
This is what I wanted to do. Yeah. I wanted to do the rehearsal to be able to say to the people, okay, so it won't be my funeral, it would be like the general rehearsal, like, It
would not be the way you want then?
It would be the way I want, but as a rehearsal, because I cannot say which speech it will be depending when I die. No. Maybe the person I choose to make the speech is going to die before me. Yeah. What do I do? Etc. But I can give at least different scenarios for music, for speeches, for places, for...
But the most important thing, the emotional reaction of people, you cannot...
No, I cannot.
And that's... I think that because Claus Beck-Nielsen was declared dead 9 years ago, then there is a lot of people who knew him very well and who know me very well now that feel very, very sorry about it, and who is very... a lot of people treat me a little like if I'm a ghost. And
I don't believe that.
No, but they not like I'm a ghost, but a little distant. Not the people I know very well, but I know that my parents still live. They are elderly people now, but they will not attend the. I asked them, but they said, "Oh, we think it's very nice that you make very interesting things, but." This I think we will not attend, and also because we go to too many funerals anyway, so they will not be there. But I hope that because that some of the feelings will happen anyway now.
But it will be a theater performance. Do you think people would behave like if it was real funerals?
We will. I try to do a non-exceptional funeral. The funeral will be as normal as possible, and I think that is what will make it. I don't hope it will be theatrical in any way, because I take it serious, and I've been
Well, for me, a
talking with the
theatrical
priest. Yeah.
funeral is a normal funeral. But
Yeah. But you know, if I made it with a lot of the reason why your mother's funeral became fantastic was that she was actually dead. If you had made an exceptional funeral without as a rehearsal, then it would be theater. You know, you wouldn't. What makes you feel something about a ritual is that it is as simple as possible, I think, or as close to the mainstream, to death. Don't you think?
No.
No? So maybe I'm making the wrong...
No, because me, general rehearsal or real funeral, I want it spectacular.
Yeah.
So, except if I am all alone, poor with no friends, living in the end of the world, then yes, okay, I may end up in a...
But wouldn't you like a lot of emotions? Also good, also happiness, but because you know when people die suddenly, some people start laughing.
I want emotion.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
I want emotion. I don't want something, and I don't want a normal funeral. I want the rehearsal look like I wish it will be, and not plain. Even though I know, I can't get it because it won't be like that. I can't force my friends to believe I'm dead or whatever. So, and yeah, we have different reasons to do it.
You can. It would, when you say that, I think. Don't you think it would be possible to go on a travel and then make this story that you were dead, and then the coffin comes home from Paraguay, and you will have the funeral, and you.
No, because
and then you can come afterwards.
No, my only reason to do this. First, I don't want to give that pain to my
neither
friends.
Do I, but it was just.
And second, I want to see what happens. I want to assist. I want to organize it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be hidden in a corner. I want to decide. Okay, this one moves here and talks.
But couldn't you do that through if you then came back and you had changed your as a blondine and and then take care that it was, and if you have had the rehearsals before, so if you know.
No, I don't. And yeah, I don't want to.
No, neither.
I want to
be there.
It's a fantasy of mine. It's a light fantasy for me. It's not a heavy fantasy. It's not. It doesn't mean I want to die. It just means that I think I just like to control everything in my life. I am the control freak, they say, I think. So the same way I want to organize, if it's my wedding. I tried to get married in 2000, a very, very complex wedding. I tried to be married because the man was going away for a few years to China, so I knew it would be finished.
So you have a fantastic wedding, and then
I wanted to have a wedding which was a way to say, okay, I know it's over, so I would never get married with somebody that loves me.
No.
Ever. No.
No.
No. I don't like wedding. I like wedding if they are desperate.
I tried it once, and it was a very successful wedding, but afterwards it was not a success, and so.
Well, I like desperate weddings.
Funerals. Yeah.
I like desperate weddings and happy funerals. So I knew the guy would, and I was true. So I decided to organize our wedding on the tarmac of the airport the day he would leave for China. And I worked for a year. I worked a lot. You know, I went to the airport authorities, found the mayor. There is 4 different mayor around Rehearsing because it's a big territory. I found the mayor. I got permission for 500 people to go on customs.
Yes.
And just for the wedding and come back. I found musician. I mean, I organized something extremely elaborate.
And then he didn't show up?
No, he showed up, but the Concorde crashed. So it was not the best moment to do a party like that. So it was cancelled.
Oh.
So we didn't get married. I went with my wedding. I had bought a very beautiful red wedding dress because he was going to China. So I went with him in the airport with my wedding dress and say goodbye. And that was the end because he.
But the most important thing we didn't. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, but it's I don't like in that situation. I would then nothing is nice, because if I'm maybe also a little bit of a control freak, and so I like to have been dead in 2001 and nobody's gonna address me. So so I think this we have very many problems now to get to be allowed to bury the casket.
So what are you going to
in
do
in the churchyard? They don't want him in how do you say?
Catholic?
Oh, holy earth.
Are you Catholic?
Oh, I like God very much, but I'm not sure I believe in him. But I really.
But you want
really
to be
like
dead in a church? I mean, you want a ceremony in a church?
Yeah, because if you do that without the church, it's not a real funeral. It's just like a wedding in a.
It's funny
in
because
a church is fantastic, or in an airport, but not a wedding in at the mayor. If you go to a mayor and have a wedding, I've been that.
Well, you invent something.
Yeah.
It's funny, you are very original in your idea, but after conventional in the way to perform it. You don't invent your own ritual? You have to go to the church?
Yeah, no, it's just because I don't know, it's just the I have the idea and then I have to follow the idea. And I cannot make it into a carnival if that's not the way. And I want and also because it's turned out to be very interesting what happens. If you have a corpse and the authorities don't want this corpse, it's like
are you going to put the corpse in the fake one in the did you buy
I think he will
grave?
be more real than I've ever been, but
did you buy a grave?
More expensive. Yeah, we bought a grave, and they don't want
you're allowed?
They are not allowed. No, but now we try other things. We hope that
because that's my problem in France. You can't anymore buy a grave in Paris before being dead.
No?
No, you could 10 years ago, but now you just can't.
There's too many dead. Now
too many dead, they don't want to lose space and time. Like, for example, I bought my grave with my father 15 years ago because I wanted to be buried with my father. Mm-hmm. And we bought our grave, and we've been to our grave every year for lunch and a drink.
Yes.
We go. And then I decided to leave my father our grave because there is room for 3. Yeah. And my father got married and wants to put my stepmother, and I don't want to finish
and you
my
don't want
life
to lie like that.
with my stepmother
no.
and recreate a family. No. So I decided to step out my grave and leave the space to my... And I don't want to go to my mother because I don't like my brother either. Mm-hmm. And there is also for 3, but the other space is for my brother, and I don't want to be buried with my brother. So I decided to bury my own grave, and there the trouble starts because you're not allowed until you're dead. Now, I
bought this grave, and I brought another person there to discuss the grave and the people from the graveyard, which is a very beautiful one. I'd invite you if you would come and meet me at my grave. It's the same place where Søren Kierkegaard and Hans Christian Andersen are buried.
But where is
in the center of Copenhagen.
Okay.
It's very beautiful, and it's not very big, but it's very green and
beautiful. But you have it?
Beautiful.
It's yours?
I have it, yes. And then
is it expensive?
But I'm not. No, not that expensive. I think it was only about €1,000. Well. And then when but now I'm not allowed to bury Claus Beck-Nielsen in it. And then I thought, well, then they can get it back. But then when I was there to discuss the problem with some from the authorities, then one of the gardeners, what do you call a gardener on a churchyard, the one who also dig the grave, he came to me and he said, "What is this? When I sold this to you, I thought you were very ill. You know, I'm a bit skinny, so people think, okay, he's gone, okay, he's off. And then he said, I did my best, and we found this very beautiful place. And so I had to say, okay, I'll keep it. I promise you, I'll go down there when my number comes. So so now it's mine, and if you have time, one of the days we can meet there.
So actually, we want to do exactly the reverse things, because I want an exceptional funeral, but coming from a very normal fantasy, that I just want to see if people are sad, and you start from a performance desire, and you want it as normal and plain as possible.
Yeah,
so.
I think it's if you start one place, you have to go to the other, because if you just made a very normal one, then okay, and if I made it at the end a festival, it would be.
So my funeral will be more
I
funny
hate
than
events,
yours.
When people make big festivals with, like in the beginning of Olympic Games, when there are 1 million people doing beautiful dances in writing. I'm interested in something that's very close to the person, or to the human. When will it be?
Mine?
Yeah.
I have no clue, because first I need to buy the grave, so I have to go through a lot of
you have to move to another country and be another citizen.
I wrote a letter last week to the mayor of Paris asking for a derogation. I don't know how you say. So first I have this to solve. Then I've started to make a list of the people that I wanted to talk, but then I have to think about the time, the different scenario. Mine is not ready yet.
No.
I have no date, and I'm not in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. I wish I don't die before I organize it, but given the hope I have to survive a few years, then I am not in a hurry. I just want to
But you
do
never
it before.
know. There was when I was telling about some people some days ago, there was a younger female writer, and she said to me, "Oh yeah," she listened, and then she said, "Oh, and in September." Oh, she said, "Oh, let's hope you're not dying before that." And then I said, "Oh, thank you." Yes, I hadn't thought of that, but yes, I'll do my best.
Maybe the funeral will call the body.
I'm that's good thing about that. I'm not. I don't do. I never been on that kind of things.
Okay.
So because then, and that's, I don't like this, that when something happens, people invent the story backwards. That it's because you did this and that, because then you can't do anything, because you have to take care that it won't haunt you or hit you. If you say, I want to do this, so I have to have the courage to do it. So also like you, that you don't...
Yeah, I don't care about this. I mean, a little. When I wanted to be married, it was to play against the dice.
Yes.
But
they wouldn't play with you.
So they didn't play with me. So what's the word of the end?
The word of the end.
For them, I mean.
Okay, that we look at them and say the end.
Is that the end?
The end.